Jiang Yan. Oh, you can get up after all. I thought Jiang the fool was too sick to rise. The marriage betrothal between our families ends today. Hand over Yunyang's betrothal letter. From this day on, you marry your way, and we go ours. A fool dares marry our young lady? Take a good look at yourself. Good. Who'd marry their daughter to a fool? The Jiang family is finished for good this time. We can break off the engagement. My head hurts like it was slammed in a door. A 23-year-old graduate student in history. I died pulling an all-nighter on my thesis. Did I travel through time? I actually became a fool. Being seen as a fool may not be so bad. When others look down on me, I get the chance to see everyone clearly. Jiang Yan. We can break off the engagement. But, Madam Sun, the Sun and Jiang families were betrothed at birth. Now that the Jiang family has fallen, you come to end it. People may not just call me a fool. They may say the Sun family worships wealth and breaks its promises. Don't rush. I'll give the Sun family away to end this and save face. At the Wenchang Society's autumn literary gathering in 3 days, have Sun Yan compete with me before all the scholars. If I lose, I'll admit in public that my learning is lacking, and that I am unworthy. Then I'll end the engagement myself. That way, the Sun family's reputation stays intact. A fool dares compete with a licentiate. My son Yulang passed the county exam last year. He is a certified licentiate. You were even expelled from the county school, and you dare compete. I dare. You were even expelled from the county school, and you dare compete. I dare. Fine. In 3 days at the Wenchang Society. If you don't show up, or back down in front of everyone, I'll post the divorce letter on the Jiang family's door, for the whole county to see. Young master, Sun Yan is a licentiate, and writes excellent 8-legged essays. How could you accept his challenge? You're walking straight into a fire pit. Uncle Fu, do you believe in me? Young master, are you feeling better? Young master, what did you draw? All these circles and dots. Have you fallen ill again? This isn't random scribbling. It's the key to making books readable for everyone. A key? Books today have no punctuation. Where to pause and where to stop is taught entirely by word of mouth. The great families keep the secrets of punctuation to themselves. People from poor families can't even enter their doors. And I'm going to tear that door down. Young master, don't go. They'll post the divorce letter at our door. And if I go, then it will be their funeral. Jiang the fool really came. Jiang the fool actually came. He'll disgrace his ancestors today. Ha ha ha. County Magistrate Zhou. Today I ask you all to bear witness. The Jiang family's young master admits his learning is insufficient and has voluntarily challenged my son. If he proves inferior, he will willingly end the engagement, and the Sun family will bear no blame. Young Master Zhang, this competition was indeed your own proposal. Yes. In that case, Sun Yan, you are a licensed scholar. You may set the question. But everyone here is a witness today. There can be no backing out. Of course, Your Honor. A poetry contest would be too easy. People would say I won unfairly. I'll compete with Zhang Zhuanfeng on the basics of sentence parsing. This ancient spring and autumn text has no punctuation at all. If Brother Jiang can punctuate it, I'll concede. If he can't, he must admit in public that he reached above his station by seeking the Sun family's daughter. If he can't, he must admit in public that he reached above his station by seeking the Sun family's daughter. That's it? If you can't understand it, Brother Jiang, you can still admit defeat. No need. From morning to night. This line should actually break here. Once you read it that way, I understood every word. Brother Sun, I've finished punctuating this commentary. Well done. The meaning flows clearly, with perfect continuity. Not a single awkward break. Impossible. He must have seen it beforehand. Impossible. He must have seen it beforehand. You personally brought this handwritten ancient text. I've been a shut-in for 3 years. Where could a fool like me have seen it beforehand? Who was your teacher? This is called a punctuation mark. A circle marks the end of a sentence. A dot marks a pause within one. A hook marks a person's words. With just a dozen symbols, anyone can clearly parse any text. Why did the ancient text seem so difficult just now? It isn't because you're foolish. It's because the book has no clear punctuation. If everyone could use these symbols, even students from poor families without famous teachers could read the classics on their own. It flows now. The parts I couldn't understand before suddenly make sense at a glance. Amazing. This is no minor trick. It's a powerful tool for education. That was awesome. Is this really Jiang the fool? Who would dare call him a fool now? He's clearly a brilliant man who hid his talent. Master, madam. Did you see that? Our young master isn't a fool. Young Master Jiang, would you explain these punctuation marks to me in detail? I am willing to write a recommendation for you and nominate you to the great scholars of the prefectural school. Young Master Jiang, would you explain these punctuation marks to me in detail? I am willing to write a recommendation for you and nominate you to the great scholars of the prefectural school. You flatter me, magistrate. Jiang Yan is unworthy. Madam Sun, who won today's competition? Well, Sun Yan said just now that if I could punctuate it, he would concede defeat. Everyone here is a witness. Young Master Jiang clearly won, and he won fair and square. Then will you still end the engagement? So he wasn't a fool after all. He had simply hidden his brilliance for 3 whole years. As for ending the engagement, the Sun family will need time to consider it. Today I'll explain punctuation first. Young master, you really aren't sick. Thank heaven. The Jiang family finally has hope. Uncle Fu, today was only the first step. The magistrate even plans to recommend you to the prefectural school. And this is only the first step. Punctuation is merely the lever that will move this entire era. The young master has already found out that this man truly has Magistrate Zhou's favor and may even be sent to the prefectural school. A fool from a poor family dares challenge the Kui family's rules. Young master, who is that? I don't know, but he doesn't look like he's here to congratulate us. This little pond called King County can no longer contain me. The bigger fish beyond it have caught the scent and are swimming over. Find out everything about Zhang Yan. I want to make sure he never gets into the prefectural school. A great reputation won't put food on the table. But, young master, since Magistrate Zhou said he'd recommend you, why not hurry to his door and seek a place? If I go now, I'm the one asking him. Once I accomplish one more thing, they'll be the ones inviting me. But what about our rice today? That's why I'll solve our food problem first. People are born good by nature. Our natures are alike, but our habits set us apart. What kind of text is this? A book to teach 3 to 5-year-olds their first characters. Young master, you're selling books? No, I'm going to open a school for young children. Right here in our home. 1 room and a few tables will be enough. Tuition is 100 coins a month. Those who can pay with rice and vegetables. But will anyone send their child to a former fool? 3 days ago I was a fool. Today I'm the brilliant scholar Magistrate Zhou praised in public. Teacher Zhang, is it really only 100 coins here? Teacher Zhang, is the fee really just 100 coins a month? Can we pay with rice and vegetables if we can't afford it? Mr. Zhang really only charges 100 coins a month. Rice and vegetables can cover the fee if they can't pay. As long as the child is willing to learn, I'll take him. Tishan, kneel and bow to your teacher. Young master, we have 17 students already. There isn't room inside. Take down the old door panels. Set them on bricks and use them as desks. Then what about our door? Classes during the day. Put it back at night. Studying isn't torture. Follow the rhythm. Say, in the beginning of man, human nature is good. In the beginning of man, human nature is good. Yan. Gong Mengs. 2 2s make 4. 3 3s make 9. 9 9s make 81. How much is 7 times 3 again? 21 coins, and give him 4 back. Your boy's only been with Mr. Zhang for 20 days, right? He's faster than the bookkeeper. Mr. Zhang, no one in my family has been literate for 3 generations. Little Do can do accounts now. He knows over 100 characters. You've changed the fate of the Zhang family. The child is willing to learn. That's his own ability. You must take these students no matter what. Young master, it's not that we're out of rice. It's that the rice jar can't hold anymore. Excuse me, which one of you is Mr. Zhang Yan? Excuse me, which one of you is Mr. Zhang Yan? Did you create these deadly punctuation marks, sir? I did. My father copied this method from a literary gathering. I used it while rereading several classic works. The passages I couldn't understand before suddenly became clear. Miss Wen, being able to find the errors yourself, puts you above many scholars who only defend their own mistakes. But I didn't come just to thank you. You have another question? Here, sir, you put the break after the word wild. I think it should go before wild. The meaning works either way. Miss Wen's reading is indeed smooth when you look at this line alone. But you can't study by looking at one line. You have to follow the whole passage's flow. The line before speaks of the use of ritual. The line after says harmony is most important. If the break comes before also, this middle line becomes an orphan. If you break it after the word, the lines echo each other, the whole passage flows as one. The lines echo each other, the whole passage flows as one. I see. I was only trying to make this line work and forgot the flow of the whole passage. Punctuation isn't about cutting up a text. It's about finding the text's natural breath. The ancients said writing carries the way. Do you think the way matters more, or the writing? Without writing, people can understand. Even the greatest truth can't be passed on. So writing isn't decoration for the way. It's the vessel that carries it. Today's discussion was worth reading 10 volumes. You're too kind, Miss Wynne. In a few days, King Academy will hold its autumn poetry gathering. All the famous scholars from the prefectural city will attend. My father would like to invite you. My father would like to invite you. I would be honored. Miss Wen is learned and proper, and quite beautiful. She's also the dean's daughter. She's here to discuss academics. You can discuss academics until dark. I'm old, but I'm not stupid. The poetry gathering is what matters. All the city's famous scholars will be there. If I make my mark there, I can truly leave King behind. Mr. Jiang, I owe you a debt. I risked coming here to warn you. About the autumn poetry gathering, Kui Mingyuan of the Kui family will be there too. Kui Mingyuan? The top scorer in the prefectural exam. The heir of an old aristocratic family. He was the one sitting in the blue sedan at the alley that day. The punctuation method has always been a family secret of the old clans. You made it public and taught it to children from poor families. The Kui family thinks you've broken the rules. Kui Mingyuan is probably coming for you. Thank you. The top scorer and a young master of the Kui family. Maybe we should pretend to be sick and stay home. Maybe we should pretend to be sick and stay home. You can dodge the first day, but not the 15th. Now that he's set his sights on me, if I give an inch, he'll push me 10 steps back. Then what do we do? Today? I'll make him destroy his own punctuation method. I've long heard King produced a remarkable talent. Who created this punctuation system? Even Master Zhou praised it endlessly. Now that I've met you, I Kui would like to ask you a few questions. A discussion of learning is a noble thing. Jiang Yan, what do you say? Please enlighten me, young Master Kui. Brother Jiang, you mark up a text with circles and dots, chewing it up and feeding it to the reader. It may seem convenient, but it cuts off a scholar's ability to reach his own insights. In time, all you'll produce are people who can't think, illiterate-minded hacks who only recognize characters. That's a fair point. If learning depended entirely on symbols, everyone could study. Then what need would there be for teachers? This method only seeks quick results. It may mislead students. Let's see how he answers. Let's see how he answers. Brother Jiang, you keep claiming to stand up for poor families. But if your method destroys the foundation of a poor child's education, can you bear that responsibility? Young Master Kui's words sound reasonable at first. But let me ask everyone here. What is the purpose of studying? To show off how profound your learning is, or to understand truth, broaden your knowledge, and serve society. A child from a poor family can't afford a famous teacher, can't afford annotated books, and doesn't even know where to pause in a classic. He can't even get through the door. Yet young Master Kui tells him to find enlightenment on his own. Young Master Kui was born into an old clan. His elders taught him the method from childhood. For you, this threshold is naturally easy to cross, because the key is in your own home. What are you trying to say? I'm saying that for millions of poor students across the land, this threshold isn't a trial. It's a mountain that crushes people to death. My punctuation method doesn't cut off a scholar's ability to think. It cuts off the old clan's selfish monopoly on learning. I want poor students everywhere to understand the classics on their own, even without famous teachers, and grasp the truth within them. How is that misleading students? Are they supposed to spend their whole lives kneeling outside the old clan's gates before that's called the right path? Sir, you're right. When I wanted to learn where to place one break, I knelt outside your door for 3 days and still couldn't get in. Young Master Kui, your talent is famous throughout the prefecture. You and I shouldn't be fighting over a momentary victory today. A truly capable scholar should find a way to let more people afford an education and understand its principles, instead of fighting over who gets to guard the gate. Young Master Kui, isn't that right? What a sharp tongue. Jiang Yan, you're nothing but a silver-tongued sophisticate. A sore loser can have all the talent in the world and still never amount to anything. Jiang Yan, you have talent and even greater insight. It's a shame you're stuck in King County. Today, before everyone here, I will personally write a letter recommending you to the Prefectural Academy. Thank you, Dean. Don't thank me. You earned this path for poor students everywhere. The prefectural city is the Kui family's territory. The moment Zhang Nan dares to come, I'll make sure he enters alive but leaves dead. Sir. Sir. Thank you for speaking up for poor students today. I only spoke the truth in my heart. Few people dare to speak their hearts in public. As you head to the Prefectural Academy, the road ahead may not be peaceful. The Kui family has deep roots and great influence. Please be careful. Thank you, Miss Wen. Kui Mingyuan lost the argument. But he may not limit his revenge to words. I know. I usually let things slide when no one bothers me. But if someone comes after me, I'll show him a sharpness he can't hide from. Young Master, someone from the Sun family is here. Young Master, someone from the Sun family is here. Which Sun family? Who else could it be? The Sun family that came to break off the engagement. Mrs. Sun came herself. She even brought Miss Sun Yuniang. Let them in. Why aren't you surprised? For them to come now, it can't be for anything good. Uncle Fu, isn't pretending to be foolish my specialty? What are you planning this time, young master? They haven't shown their faces in over a month. Now that I've been recommended to the Prefectural Academy, they come knocking at once. What else could it be? Is young Master Zhang here? I came especially to see him. You came at just the right time. I've been waiting a long time for this show. Breaking off the engagement that day was all a misunderstanding. We won't break off the engagement after all. This engagement isn't off anymore. Young Master Zhang, how have you been? Thanks to Madame Sun, I'm still alive. You're joking, young master. Calling off the engagement was all a misunderstanding. I believed the street gossip and acted rashly. You and Yunyang were betrothed before birth. You were meant to be together. How could a small misunderstanding split you up? So Madame Sun means the engagement isn't off? Yunyang is still your fiancé. When you return from the prefectural city, we'll hold the wedding right away. She's the one who humiliated you before, sir. Now she sees you've made something of yourself and has the nerve to renew the match. Young Master Jiang, say something. Oh, I just can't figure something out. What can't you figure out? What can't you figure out? Just over a month ago, I wasn't good enough for Miss Sun. You're a fool. How did we suddenly become a perfect match? People can misjudge others. Please be magnanimous, young master. My memory is poor. Madame Sun, help me remember. Who told me to piss and look at myself? Oh, right. That lady said. A fool like you thinks he can marry my daughter? Piss and look at yourself. Madame Sun, you've seen a lot.
Tell me.
Which lady said that? That was a servant with no manners. But when the servant cursed me, Madame Sun was laughing happily. And who told me to piss and look at myself? Madame Sun, you're well read. Teach me. What exactly did that piss show me? How did it show me Master Shan's recommendation to Qingyan Prefectural Academy? And show Madame Sun coming here to renew the engagement? Young Master Jiang, I was blind back then. Please stop mocking me. But Yunyang is innocent. She has always loved you. If you reject this match, what will become of her reputation? When you wanted to break off the engagement, why didn't you think of her reputation? Yunyang, Tell young Master Jiang, you're willing to marry him. Mother, stop. We've humiliated ourselves enough. Yunyang, what did you say? I said stop humiliating us. Young Master Jiang, it was my Sun family that humiliated you by breaking off the engagement. Now that you've made a future for yourself, it's still my Sun family shamelessly seeking to renew it. I know you'll never accept this match, and you shouldn't. The Sun family wronged you first. We have no right to reach higher. Shut up. If you use my reputation to force him today, Mother, you'll truly trample my dignity. If you use my reputation to force him today, Mother, you'll truly trample my dignity. Today I'm only apologizing to you for the Sun family. Let's never mention this marriage again. You have a bright future ahead. You earned it yourself. It has nothing to do with the Sun family. Miss Sun can say all that. She's a sensible woman. What happened then? I don't blame you for it. The engagement is over. We're strangers now. I hope you find a good man someday and can make your own choices. Thank you. Miss Sun is a good person. Too bad she has a stepmother like that. At least from today on, she's choosing for herself. The old score is settled. Time to go to the prefectural city. The old score is settled. Time to go to the prefectural city. That's the poison prodigy who got in by drawing circles and dots. I heard he used to be a fool. Isn't this great scholar Jiang? You shut down that shabby school in King? and came to our prefectural academy? I hear Brother Jiang is great at teaching peasants to read. Since when does the academy take in this sort? Brother Kui, we meet again. At the last poetry gathering. Thanks for your support, Brother Kui. Don't think getting into the academy makes you one of us. A few cheap little tricks don't make you talented. The cheap little tricks Brother Kui means are the poison symbols or something else. Something else. What else do you have? In a few days, you'll find out, Brother Kui. I'd like to see what a poor nobody can pull off. Young Master Jiang says he can cut book prices tenfold. More than tenfold. Woodblock printing, one Analects takes craftsmen hundreds of blocks and months of work. How can you, after printing, take it apart? The letters can be used again. One set of type can print 10,000 books. If typesetting is as fast as you say, costs can drop by at least 90%. In this age, books are luxuries. Poor families aren't short on smart people. They just can't afford books. Knowledge is locked behind walls of wealth. You're tearing down that wall? I'll remove one brick first. Print this as the first batch. Include the full set of poison symbols. Price it at 50 coins. The market price is 3 strings of cash. 50 coins won't even cover the paper. The market price is 3 strings. 50 coins won't even cover the paper. With volume, costs will keep dropping. Shopkeeper Shen earns less per book, but can earn money from everyone. If this works, young Master Jiang will open a door for poor scholars everywhere. I've saved for half a year. Can I really buy a book of my own? 50 coins, not one less. Not 1 coin more. This is mine, not borrowed, and not copied. It's my book. I've lived my whole life and never thought I'd see books sold this cheap. Poor children can have books to read now. Jiang Yan, do you know what you've done? Made books a bit cheaper. A bit cheaper? You sell books worth 3 strings for 50 coins. How many livelihoods have you cut off? How many great families have you shaken? You sell books worth 3 strings for 50 coins. How many livelihoods have you cut off? How many great families have you shaken? The path to learning was never meant only for great families. You're just a poor-born scholar, and you dare make enemies of every great family. You've caused a huge disaster. Brother Kui, you're wrong. What? I didn't poke a hole in a basket. I poked a hole in the sky. Jiang Yan must die. Jiang Yan, do you know the danger you're in now? You're famed across the city, and enemies feel it too. You only know one side of it. The prefectural city has reported movable type to Bianjing. People at court have noticed you. The Crown Prince and Prince Jing are fighting for the throne. They're not just fighting for court officials, but for the hearts of the people, especially scholars' hearts. Movable type and this great feat will make poor scholars everywhere credit you. Such a huge prize. How could the 2 princes not want it? Those who want to recruit me will come. Those who want to destroy me will come too. That's right. You're no longer just an academy student. You're a piece that can sway the court. Prince Jing's chief secretary is here. By Prince Jing's order, young Master Jiang is invited to the capital. Prince Jing sent someone himself. Faster than I expected. Once movable type wins poor scholars' hearts, It will no longer be a business, but a political bargaining chip. Even if I want to hide, they won't allow it. Bianjing is 10 times more dangerous. Going could get me killed. Not going means the prince's estate and Eastern Palace will act for you. Then I'll go. Master. The game has come to our door. Hiding only loses our right to make a move. By order of Prince Jing, we respectfully invite young Master Jiang to the capital. His Highness says movable type will benefit generations. Young Master Jiang's talent shouldn't be confined to one prefecture. His Highness says movable type will benefit generations. Young Master Jiang's talent shouldn't be confined to one prefecture. Please thank His Highness for his concern. Jiang Yan accepts. From a village school to movable type, I thought I was making small moves to get rich and famous. Then I looked up and found the whole world across the board, the most noble and dangerous people. News that His Highness invited you to the capital has likely reached the Eastern Palace already.
Yes.
Safe travels, Master. Master, remember to eat when you get to Bianjing. Don't think tofu is too plain. Not plain at all. Leave the Jiangyan school to the masters for now. Study hard, all of you. I'll check when I return. Yes. See you on the road? Thanks. Young Master, when do you think we'll be back? When it's time to come back. 3 months later.
His Majesty is holding a special imperial exam.
The exam has begun. One street in this city is livelier than all of King County. The world's power, wealth, and public sentiment will all converge here.
His Highness says young Master may settle in first.
Get familiar with the capital. There's no need to meet him right away. That's actually more clever. If he were eager to win me over, he'd be treating me like a pawn. Keeping me waiting a few days is making me weigh the price of getting on board. His Majesty values scholarship and promotes education. So he has called a special imperial exam. His Majesty values scholarship and promotes education. So he has called a special imperial exam. Anyone with a degree or a recommendation from a renowned teacher may take the exam. Young Master, this is a huge opportunity. If you place first, you can become an official. The greater the opportunity, the deadlier the trap. Your Highness, this is Jiang Yan, a poor scholar from King. He won over many scholars from humble families with his deadly poison and movable type. Now Prince Jing has invited him to the capital. I hear that whenever scholars from humble families in Jiangnan mention Jiang Yan, they all praise him with gratitude. That is exactly how Prince Jing has always won hearts, by drawing close to the poor scholars. If Jiang Yan passes the special exam and enters government service, he'll become a sharp blade Prince Jing drives into the court. He'll also be a banner rallying scholars across the land. Then we absolutely cannot let him pass. Your Highness, Jiang Yan is skilled at arguing. If we only make him fail, he can still build his reputation through his poison symbols. So we can't just make him fail. The special exam. If we catch him carrying notes, leaking questions, and bribing a clerk, that will be exam fraud. Jiang Yan's reputation will be ruined. When Lanton will be punished for failing to investigate the man he recommended. Prince Jing, who recruited him, will be accused of condoning fraud and poor judgment. 3 victims with 1 case. The evidence must be flawless. I've already found someone who can imitate his handwriting. I've also bribed a copying clerk at the examination hall. This time, I want to watch him with my own eyes, as he kneels in court and confesses. A poor scholar dares to steal the hearts of the people from me. I've long admired your reputation, Brother Jiang. Just a small gift to show my respect. This is far too valuable. I can't even understand it, so I wouldn't dare accept it. Brother Jiang, why be so formal? If I really accepted it, I'd be too worried about thieves to sleep at night. Those books are worth quite a bit of silver. Young master, why didn't you accept them? A reward I didn't earn. Isn't a gift? It's leverage. If someone later claims I took a bribe, who could prove otherwise? Brother Jiang, let's exchange essays and discuss our ideas. Brother Jiang, let's exchange essays and discuss our ideas. What will you write about in the final policy essay? I'm thinking about how to make tofu softer. The special exams policy essay will be about tofu. Then I'll write about how to make hens lay more eggs. Young master, they sincerely want to discuss scholarship. Why do you keep saying such nonsense? They want to steal my essay, then copy it from memory, and accuse me of leaking the questions and colluding with them. Don't accept gifts. Don't discuss essays. You haven't even formally paid your respects to Prince Jing. This man has no openings. What a slippery little bastard. Uncle, are you really going to let him enter the examination hall safely? He won't take the soft approach. Then we'll use force. Once his exam paper falls into our hands, we'll add the evidence of his crimes. Shikong truly formidable. He really is formidable. He's playing right into my strengths. Young master, judging by your expression, you must have done extremely well. I just performed normally. Then first place is practically guaranteed. This has gone too smoothly. Isn't smooth a good thing? From entering the hall to leaving it, the Ministry of Justice's net never closed. It's not that there was no net. They were waiting to strike when I let my guard down. By order of the Ministry of Justice, we are arresting Zhang Yan, an imperial examinee. What gives you the right to arrest my young master? Zhang Yan is suspected of cheating in the imperial exam. He carried in notes and copied out leaked questions. He colluded with another examinee and bribed a clerk at the examination hall. The evidence is conclusive. Don't be afraid. Guard the courtyard. No matter who comes, do not hand over my old manuscripts. Your Highness, the trap has finally sprung. Jiang Yan, do you know your crimes? This student doesn't know what crime he committed. Please explain, magistrate. First, cheat sheets were found in your cubicle. They contain the key points of the policy essay, and the handwriting is identical to yours. Second, An examinee identified you as someone who exchanged essays before the exam. His policy essay is nearly identical to yours in several places, word for word. Third, a copying clerk at the examination hall identified you as the man who paid him 50 taels of silver to alter the paper. Yes, young Master Jiang gave me the silver and told me to tamper with his paper. Yes, young Master Jiang gave me the silver and told me to tamper with his paper. You carried in notes, leaked questions, and bribed a clerk. All three charges are proven. Jiang Yan, what else do you have to say? Did you think you could still turn this around? This isn't the King Poetry Gathering. The notes prove you cheated. The matching essays implicate your accomplice. The clerk's testimony destroys your claim of innocence. Everything fits together. Beautifully done. Lord Kui, is that all the evidence? You're about to die, and you still want to argue. This first piece of evidence is forged. What makes you say it's forged? May the first ask, Magistrate, if I really meant to bring in notes, why would I copy them in my own handwriting? Even the biggest fool would know that if his own handwriting were found, it would be ironclad proof. You could have left it behind in a panic. What's strange about that? Unless someone deliberately imitated my handwriting. To pin this so-called proof on me. That's sophistry. Is it? One test will tell us. The deadly symbol I invented is known throughout the world. Whenever I write, I use it at every break between phrases. We can compare it with my old manuscripts, or with the official essay I wrote this time. Bring out the official essay. Then compare it with these so-called notes. This symbol is as natural to me as the pressure of my hand when I write, or my breathing when I walk. It's built into my habits. Even when writing in a hurry, I couldn't possibly omit it everywhere. Unless you deliberately left it out, to avoid exposing yourself. If I knew that using the symbol would expose me, why would I still use my own handwriting? Lord Kui, your argument contradicts itself. These notes were written by someone who imitated my handwriting, but didn't know my writing habits. The first piece of evidence is broken.
Yes.
The second piece of evidence is even more laughable. Lord Kui claims that before the exam I leaked my essay to this examinee. Naturally, you gave him the contents. The two of you colluded. If he really saw my essay before the exam, why didn't he copy even the most distinctive deadly symbol? Maybe he deliberately removed it. He copied the structure, arguments, and allusions, yet happened to remove my most distinctive and most useful punctuation mark. That's far too convenient. My essay develops its reasoning step by step. Each paragraph builds on the one before it. But the other paper uses words that don't fit the surrounding context in several places. It's as if they were copied straight out of another essay. There is such a passage. The beginning uses rule by the people, then suddenly switches to hereditary rule. The tone falls apart. That's because this matching essay wasn't written before the exam. Someone wrote it afterward, after seeing my official paper. The forger could copy my words, but missed the punctuation. He also didn't understand how the essay's reasoning developed. So he copied the form, but not the substance. The second piece of ironclad evidence. The second piece of hard evidence. Doesn't prove I leaked the exam. It proves someone accessed it and framed me. During Minister Kui's grading of the exams, who had access? The case hasn't been solved. We can't take his word for it. Of course, there's a third piece. My friend, you say I gave you 50 taels. Yes, yes. When and where? Before the exam at the tribute hall. In an alley south of the city. Who was there? No one else. What was the money wrapped in? A cloth. Cloth bundle. What color? What color?
Black.
Your Excellency can have someone check every payment I've made since entering the capital. You've never had 50 taels. I live at the Prince of Jing's residence. They provide all my food and clothing. I carry only a few dozen coins. If you find I've ever handled 50 taels, I'll confess at once. An orphan with no family. A poor scholar with nothing but 4 bare walls. How could I conjure up 50 taels? But this clerk. No. Has your family recently paid off a gambling debt? Or bought new land? One check will tell us. Search his home at once. Why are you looking at Minister Kui? The witness is rattled. His eyes are darting around. What's so strange about that? The third charge needs a source for the money. You can't trace my silver, but you can trace whose silver it was. Then this frame-up will be clear. Minister Kui's case is full of doubts. I believe sentencing should be suspended. Silence. Minister Kui certainly has a temper. Minister Kui certainly has a temper. Greetings, Your Highness. Then let me ask you, Minister Kui. The cheat sheet contained no deadly poison. The duplicate answers look copied afterward. And the 50 taels have no traceable source. Was this truth turned upside down by Jiang Yan? Or did someone turn it upside down from the start? I was only ordered to investigate. If I overlooked anything, I am willing to take responsibility. Overlooked something? Framing a favorite examinee, altering official exam papers, and dragging the imperial examination into court politics. Those crimes can't be dismissed as an oversight. Seal all the evidence. Arrest the clerk and everyone involved. Reinvestigate the entire case. I will personally report this to the Emperor. Your Highness, spare me. I was forced to do it. The money wasn't from young Master Zhang, was it? This is a promising lead. A vice minister of rights dared to frame a favorite examinee. Kui Shen altered the tribute hall records. Did you turn my imperial examination into a tool for factional strife? I'm innocent. I was merely misled by my subordinates. Father, the printers and clerks' testimonies corroborate each other. The money also came from the Kui family's accounts. Bring Jiang Yan's exam paper. Expand the people's wisdom. Teach everyone without distinction. Then scholars from humble families can serve the nation. And the scholar class can become the foundation of the realm. Such a fine essay on statecraft, nearly buried by villains. You were taken in by the Ministry of Justice, facing 3 capital charges. You still dismantled them one by one. Your talent and courage are clearly extraordinary. I simply didn't want poor scholars across the realm to have no way to seek justice because of powerful men. Kui Shen is stripped of office and jailed. Hand him over to the 3 judicial offices. Kui Mingyuan is stripped of his honors, expelled from Bianjing. never to be employed again. The crown prince failed to govern his household, confined to reflect for 1 month. Jiang Yan, hear the decree. I am here. I name you top scholar of this special examination. You are granted the status of presented scholar. Your arguments before the Ministry of Justice were flawless. Even many senior officials at court couldn't match you. If your highness hadn't arrived in time, even if I exposed the evidence, I might never have left that prison. I acted because I value your talent, and to cleanse father's examination of this stain. You are entering the Hanlin Academy. You will be close to the emperor. The crown prince's faction now hates you. You should understand, no one can remain untouched by court politics. A life-saving favor is still a favor, but it is also an investment. Prince Jing doesn't want me personally. He wants the support of scholars from humble families. I value your talent. If you run into trouble, come to me anytime. Your Highness's kindness. I will never forget it. I am new to court. My voice carries little weight. There will be much I don't understand. I will need your Highness's guidance. What a fine way to ask for guidance. You accept my favor, yet won't give me a clear answer. Your Highness sees clearly. I simply don't dare speak recklessly before I understand the situation. Jiang Yan, you're more interesting than I expected. Entering the game is now a fact. Will you be a pawn for others, or find a chance to make your own move? Young master, you came first in the special exam and became a Hanlin editor. Master and madam must be watching from heaven. They can finally rest easy. Uncle Fu, write to King tomorrow and tell Headmaster Wen that the children are all safe. Headmaster Wen must be told. And Miss Wen even more so. Miss Wen even more so. She prepared such a thick bundle for you before you left. Without that information, I wouldn't have seen so quickly who in Bianjing was clean and who was corrupt. A Hanlin editor looks like the height of honor, but in truth, it's only stepping onto the game board. The Crown Prince's faction hates me to the bone. Prince Jing wants me to repay his life-saving favor. And Emperor Jing's moods are impossible to read. From engraved blocks to movable type, from king to the imperial palace. I thought I was playing a small game to build a fortune. Only now do I realize. Every player had already counted me into the game. Since I've entered the game, I can't remain just a pawn. One day, I will make the move myself. Jiang Bingshu, you rose to fame at a young age. I look forward to working with you. Jiang Bingshu, start by proofreading this volume of the national records. Understood. Nothing in the Hanlin Academy is trivial. Not one character can be wrong. Several old friends are hosting a banquet at Prince Jing's residence tonight. Come with us, Jiang Bingshu. I have just entered the Hanlin Academy and haven't finished proofreading the records. I wouldn't dare attend. Jiang Bingshu, you're at the height of your success. Why be so cautious? Precisely because of my success. I dare not slack off. Do you all know that Jiang Bingshu is no prodigy at all? He stole the poison formula and imperial script, the life's work of a reclusive master. Even his special exam essay was written by one of Prince Jing's aides. He's just a fraud and a fool. Really? Young master, everyone outside is saying you stole someone else's work. An investigating censor even claims you came from a humble background, yet suddenly took a prestigious post and befriended Prince Jing. They say you are unworthy of your position. Go ask Prince Jing to defend you. Ask him now? That would confirm you're one of Prince Jing's men. But if you don't defend yourself, the rumors will spread until they seem true. Rumors don't need evidence. They don't need evidence at all. The more you argue, the hotter they burn. They don't want to prove I'm untalented. They want the emperor to think that a low-born scholar with no virtue, who serves a prince, is too dangerous. Then what do? Change the battlefield. I ask permission to establish a free school for poor families. I humbly request a Huan Academy outside the Imperial College, open to students from humble families, with tuition fully waived, and affordable classics printed with movable type. If anyone says I am unworthy of my position, and stole my name and fame, I will not defend myself. Let my talent and virtue be judged by the people, not decided by rumors. If poor students can study because of my method, then even if I lack virtue, I will have no shame before the realm. But if this method harms people, I will gladly bear 7 lifetimes of guilt. I will invest every penny from the movable type printing house, and take no extra wealth from the court. I believe this perfectly serves Father's wish to honor learning and promote education. I second the motion, Father. Granted, I shall personally bestow a plaque. The Ministry of Revenue Academy, Jiang Yan will oversee it. Our emperor is wise. You made my moral character a battlefield, so I'll flip the table. I'll plant the banner of educating the realm at your feet. Anyone who moves against me is moving against the emperor's will. This young man doesn't argue for show. He gets things done. He shows his edge, yet knows when to hide it. Jiang Yan isn't merely a gifted scholar. He's someone who can shape the realm. Jiang Yan, that move to defuse the storm was brilliant. You didn't defend yourself. You shifted the battlefield to educating the realm. You made the crown prince's faction afraid to touch you again. I only did what needed to be done. You don't have to pretend in front of me. You don't have to pretend in front of me. I once thought you had nothing but clever tricks and literary talent. Now I know. Your real strength is reading hearts and riding the tide. If you truly serve me, when I take the Eastern Palace, and perhaps go even further, the status, power, and ambitions you desire, I can give you all of them. Your Highness saved me from danger and made my position today possible. For public and private reasons, I should devote myself to serving you. But I dare ask your Highness to think one step further. Go on. I now bear the name of educating the hearts of scholars from humble backgrounds across the realm. If I openly become a Prince Jing loyalist, this public institution will become a private tool of the royal household. Then those above will grow suspicious of me, and even suspect your Highness of secretly forming ties with officials to win over the scholars. That is exactly what the opposing faction wants to see. Are you refusing me? Quite the opposite. I want to serve your Highness another way. The obvious move is a weakness. The key move is the one hidden behind the attack on their hearts. I must remain in a position of public trust, without taking sides. Only then will the emperor trust me, and scholars across the realm support me. But if you're not on my side, how can I use that support? My feelings toward your Highness don't need to be written on my face. The emperor's trust and the people's support belong to no prince in ordinary times. But at the crucial moment, one word from me can change the tide. hidden behind the attack on their hearts. That is your Highness's true key move. What a brilliant key move, hidden behind an attack on their hearts. The advisors around me only teach me to expand my power and build connections. But you understand that the closer it gets to the succession, the more the emperor must believe I have no selfish motives. Your Highness isn't fighting over how many officials support you today. You're fighting for the emperor's final trust. Fine, I'll do as you say. You guard the Hanlin Academy and the Academy. I'll await the day you make your move. By His Majesty's verbal decree. By His Majesty's verbal decree. I hope Jiang Bingshu lives up to the words benevolence and learning. I will do everything in my power. Jiang Bingshu truly gets things done. I listened to rumors and offended you before. The censors exist to investigate every official for the court. That is simply their duty. The Academy still needs a few volunteer lecturers. Would you be willing to help, sir? Of course, I'd be glad to. Of course, I'd be glad to. Dean Wen, Miss Wen, what brings you here? You asked this old man in a letter to work for scholars from humble backgrounds. How could I refuse? Very well. To spend the rest of my life protecting this academy. For scholars across the realm is worth it. Father needs care on the journey, so I came along. Jiang Yan. The academy doesn't admit students by family background. We only ask whether they're willing to learn. During the day, we teach the classics. At night, we teach math, law, and agricultural policy. If learning can't serve the common people, then it's nothing but empty talk about Zhangjiao, and therefore useless. Teacher Jiang, can I take the civil service exam someday? Teacher Jiang, can I take the civil service exam someday? As long as you're willing to learn, no one can close that door to you. Jiang Yan. What's wrong? These past few months, I've heard everything that happened to you in Yanjing. The news reached me all the way in King. You were wronged in the special examination. The Ministry of Justice reopened the case. You were rewarded in the Golden Hall, and then came Hufan Academy. Every time I heard you were in danger, The things you gave me, I've carried with me all this time. The intelligence you compiled helped me greatly with the Ministry of Justice case and the King Yi affair. Who was clean and who was corrupt? Who could be trusted and who I shouldn't touch? You kept track of half the accounts in my heart for me. You've carried it with you this whole time. From King to Yanjing, you never let it leave your side. When I heard in King that you'd been arrested by the Ministry of Justice, Father said the news might not be accurate and told me not to panic. But I didn't sleep all night. What happened next? When I later heard you'd cleared your name, I realized I'd dug my nails into my palm until it bled. Xu 1. In Bianjing, I've met many people drawn to me by fame and gain. Only you, back when I was still a poor scholar in King, truly cared about the path ahead of me. I was never worried about your future. Then what were you worried about? I was worried about you. I was worried about you. If I don't say this today, I may never find the courage again. I've studied for 10 years and prided myself on being above it all. I never made room for anyone in my heart until I met you. In King, you spoke up for poor scholars and exposed the powerful family's selfish motives in public. In the prefectural city, you cut the price of books to 50 coins and brought an old scholar to tears as he held one. In Bianjing, you didn't fight over temporary honor or disgrace, but built Hufen Academy instead. Things others only dared to dream of, you made happen, one by one. I, Wen Shuan, have spent my life admiring people with real talent and learning, who sincerely care about the world. The only person in this world I truly admire is you. The only person in this world I truly admire is you. She fell for me not because I became an official, or because my power was at its peak. She loves what I want to do, the most genuine part of me. Shuan. The road through Yanjing is long and dangerous. I've made too many enemies. The road ahead may end badly. And you're not afraid? What do I have to fear? Once things settle down, I'll ask Dean Wen for her hand. Who said I'd marry you? Then I'll let go of your hand. Don't. Lord Zheng, an urgent dispatch from the western frontier. Lord Zheng, an urgent dispatch from the western frontier. His Highness asks you to come to the residence at once. How many casualties among the border troops? The count isn't in yet. Worse, the supply route has been cut off. Civilians in the border towns are beginning to flee. Father plans to choose one prince to oversee supplies and provisions for the Western campaign and calm the people. Success would bring unimaginable glory. Failure would mean ruin. The Crown Prince has volunteered. He submitted his memorial today. He wants military credit to recover from the special examination scandal and secure the succession in one stroke. Military supplies, official seals, and public support. Each could become a weapon in the succession struggle. And each could also become a killing blade. Many in court believe I should avoid his edge. But if the Crown Prince controls the military supplies alone, once he wins the war, the Eastern Palace's prestige will be unmatched. Your Highness summoned me because you want me to find a path that avoids competing with the Crown Prince head-on, while still keeping the initiative. You've always said you'd hide yourself behind the heart of the court. Now it's time for your hidden weapon to strike. Now, it's time for you to strike. I once only wanted a quiet life and fortune, to protect those close to me. But before the fate of the realm, the more you seek peace, the more trouble finds you. Since I can't avoid it, I won't. War in the West. A deadly game at court. A showdown between Xiao Chu and Wei. I'll take this game. Your Highness? As for the western frontier, I have a plan. Let's hear it. The Crown Prince seeks the title of Military Supply Commissioner. We won't fight him for the title. We'll fight over whether supplies reach the frontier. Use movable type to standardize supply vouchers and security marks. Set up inventory ledgers at depots along the route. Use poor scholars from Hikui Academy as auditing clerks. Publicly post grain counts at every station. If anyone steals even a cartload, we can trace it to them. That way, if the Crown Prince does well, the credit goes to the court system. If anyone embezzles, your ledgers will be ironclad proof. Also print public notices and frontier reports to calm the people along the route. Your Highness won't steal the Crown Prince's military credit, but you'll protect Father Emperor's money, grain, and public trust. What a move, not fighting for the name, while holding the real power. But once this plan is put forth, the Eastern Palace will truly see me as someone to kill. Are you afraid? If I were afraid, I wouldn't be here today. Hiding one's edge doesn't mean having none. It means drawing it when the realm needs it most. Before the West is settled, kill Zhang Yan first. Then deal with Wen Shuan. Urgent dispatch. Military report from the Western capital. Three cities have fallen in a row. The Tanguts have invaded the border. 3 cities lost in a row. A 100,000 border troops. 1 million people in the West. My empire has been torn open from the West. Who will plug this breach for me? Who will plug this breach for me? Oversee military supplies for the Western frontier. Those 6 words mean immense glory and a bottomless abyss. Succeed, and its merit for backing the throne, a pillar of the realm. Fail, and its lost troops and land, with your head as the scapegoat. At a time like this, everyone wants the credit, but everyone fears the blame. The Sun volunteers. The Crown Prince stepped forward himself. There was no surprise in that move. He moved fast and hard. He's risking his life to turn things around. In the special exam case, I beat him completely. His position as heir is hanging by a thread. Now this Western mess is dangerous, but beneath it lies glory enough to secure his place. This mission in a crisis, this great feat of saving the day, could crush Prince Jing in one stroke and nail down his place as Crown Prince. He's betting that. He's betting no one at court will dare to fight him for this hot potato. And he has the whole Crown Prince faction behind him. The Crown Prince has shown such resolve. Excellent. We concur. Your Majesty, the Crown Prince is dutiful, wise, and brave, worthy of this great task. His Highness volunteered in a crisis. It is a blessing for the realm. I concur. With His Highness going west himself, the army's morale will settle, and the people will rest easy. We concur. Prince Jing has been put in check. Prince Jing has been put in check. The Crown Prince's offer seized the initiative and claimed the moral high ground. If Prince Jing steps up to compete now, he'll look like a brother fighting his brother, scrambling for credit and gain. It puts him beneath contempt. It only sharpens the contrast with the Crown Prince's devotion to the state and his own hunger for power. But if he doesn't compete, he'll watch the Crown Prince claim all this credit. Then his chance at the throne will be gone. He can't advance or retreat. Last night he summoned me late. He pushed the war report before me. What he wants is for me to find him a way out of this dead end. Fighting for the supply commissioner title is a dead end. We can't win it or handle it. But this game was never only about overseeing supplies. The Crown Prince has his eye on the biggest official hat. I won't fight him for the hat. I'll take the head under it, the one that really matters. I, Jiang Yan, a Hanlin editor, have a memorial. I, Jiang Yan, a Hanlin editor, have a memorial. Jiang Qing, what is your memorial? Your Majesty. The Crown Prince volunteered in a crisis to oversee military supplies. It is a blessing for the realm. I am unworthy to compete with His Highness for this duty. But I believe the danger in the West lies in supplies, but even more in the people's hearts. Explain. Your Majesty, in your wisdom. 3 cities fell in a row. It wasn't just the army that lost. The people's hearts broke first. Frontline reports are hard to verify. Rumors run wild in the rear. Border folk don't know if the court will fight or make peace. They're frightened like startled birds. The newly surrendered Tangut tribes, the scattered remnants of border troops, have no one to calm them. One spark could cause an uprising. Supplies and grain are the West's flesh and blood, but morale and public trust are its bones and sinews. Flesh and blood can be replaced. But if the bones break, even with 1 million loads of grain, it all falls apart. I am unworthy, but I wish to share your Majesty's burden. I am unworthy, but I wish to share your Majesty's burden. I request to oversee education and public relief in the West. Education and public relief? I wish to use movable type printing in the Western prefectures. First, print true war reports and spread them through border towns and counties. Rumors will die on their own. The people will be at ease. Second, print military grain policy documents and audit supply accounts. Third, for the newly surrendered tribes and displaced soldiers and civilians, print teachings of guidance and relief policies, so they know the court's grace and might and willingly submit. I dare not touch military affairs or compete for military credit. I only ask to help your Highness win military glory by clearing away his worries and to preserve the West's bones and sinews. This move of mine, the Crown Prince faction hasn't caught on yet. They think I've backed down, just asking for a lofty idle post. But within those 4 words, public relief and education, lies the most vital thing. Accounts, documents, and public trust. The Crown Prince controls the supply money and grain. But how are the accounts kept? How are the records audited? Did the grain arrive? Was any pay withheld? All these matters of the pen. I hold the pen that keeps the books. From now on, any hint of fraud in Western supplies must pass through my ledgers. This isn't being a loyal minister. It's putting my hand right on his supply lifeline. Better still, relieving the people, teaching them, and calming their hearts. These 12 words are what this emperor who always praises benevolent rule most wants to hear. The crown prince seeks the credit of a capable minister. I claim the righteousness of benevolent rule. Righteousness stands above merit. Well said. Flesh and blood can be replaced, but broken bones are hard to mend. Flesh and blood can be restored, but sinews and bones are hard to mend. All the civil and military officials know is to ask me for money and grain. Only Jiang Yan saw the people's backbone. Jiang Yan's proposal is exactly what I had in mind. I appoint Jiang Yan as a Hanlin editor and an advisor to the Western Frontier Pacification Office. She will oversee education, civil affairs, and the people's welfare in the West. She will march west with the army at once. All military ledgers and documents, as well as pacifying and educating the people, will be under her supervision. The Crown Prince will oversee military supplies. Jiang Yan will handle the documents. Education and civil affairs will support each other to stabilize the Western frontier. Advisor Jiang understands the greater good, so I couldn't ask for anyone better. Thank you for your favor, Your Majesty. I will do everything I can to serve you well. That couldn't ask for anyone better may be the most unwilling thing you've ever said. That couldn't ask for anyone better may be the most unwilling thing you've ever said. Young master, are you really going to war? It'll be a living hell. The Dangxiang are vicious. We've already lost 3 cities. You're a scholar going to a place like that. What if something happens to you? How will this old servant face your lord and lady in the afterlife? Uncle Fu, I'm not going to fight. I'm going to manage the accounts and printing and help settle the people. I'll stay with the army in a major rear area town. It'll be perfectly safe. Half of that is true. The other half is just to calm him down. The Western frontier is far more complicated than he realizes. That secret letter about the military supplies is still unaccounted for. But I know this much. The Crown Prince is holding those supplies so tightly. There has to be something shady going on. I'm going there to turn the table over. And turning over a table never leaves you bloodless. But I have no choice but to take this step. Staying trapped in Bianjing makes me a target, a helpless piece on someone else's chessboard. But once I reach the Western Commandery, out of the Emperor's reach, I'll finally have room to use everything I've learned. It'll be dangerous, but it's also the only place on this board where I can take control. Fubio, stay in Bianjing and watch over Huwen Academy and the print shop. Those 2 are my roots. They can't be cut. If anything stirs in the capital, especially on the Kui family's side, or anything changes with the Crown Prince, send word by fast courier. Understood, young master. Young master, please take care of yourself. I'll go west with you. Shuan. The western frontier is dangerous. I know it's dangerous. That's exactly why. You need someone with you. Jiang Yan, you have to handle education and civil affairs, audit the military ledgers, and print notices to reassure the people. Every one of those tasks is a tangled mess. You need someone you trust who knows the work to manage it. The documents from Huan Academy and the print shop's accounts have been in my hands for months. You know I can handle them. We'll see about that. The Kui family's feud goes back to my father's generation. No one in all of Bianjing knows the Kui family's secrets or the habits and methods of its surviving faction better than I do. When you audit the accounts in the Western Commandery, you'll run into the Kui family's remnants sooner or later. When that happens, having me by your side will be worth more than 10 clueless advisors.
He's right.
Every word makes sense. The documents, the accounts, and the Kui family's secrets, the three things he offers, are exactly the help I need most. He's not asking to come along just to share my hardships out of spite. He's thought it through. He can be extremely useful. The only problem is what title she travel under. The army doesn't allow women to accompany it. An unmarried young woman marching with the army would give people endless gossip. Huan Academy is now a renowned name in education across the realm. You're going west to handle education and civil affairs. The borderlands need schools for the common people. You need to educate the refugees. I'll travel as a female instructor from Huan Academy to assist with education. You can go with me. It'll be perfectly proper, setting up schools for girls in the borderlands, and teaching women and children among the refugees to read and reason should naturally include female teachers. No one could find fault with that. You even thought of a title for me. You've covered every angle. She didn't come to ask me to take her. She came to inform me. Fine, then on this journey, you and I are partners. Partners? Jiang Yan is heading west. In plain sight, there are the Dangshang enemies. In the shadows, there are the Crown Prince's blades. The Crown Prince controls the military supplies. Auditing his accounts is like pulling a tooth from a tiger's mouth. Be extremely careful. I'll keep watch over the court here in the capital. Don't worry, Your Highness. I have only 3 tasks on this journey: print books, audit accounts, and reassure the people. Every one of them serves the public good. Even if the Crown Prince's faction wants to move against me, they won't find an excuse. 7 parts genuine concern, 3 parts distrust. He wants me to win, but he also wants me gone to the Western Commandery, away from his chessboard. He wants to keep tabs on me, yet he also wants me to feel reassured. What I want is to become indispensable to everyone. Your Highness, please stop here. As for the Western Army, I know what I'm doing. This. How is that possible? The military supplies are rigged? Where grain arrives, people die. As soon as the grain reaches the front, the men die. Who wrote this letter? Was it a righteous man who knew the truth and had nowhere else to turn? Or did someone deliberately plant these 8 words to lure me into a trap? Either way, they point to the same thing. There is a deadly scandal hidden in the military provisions handled by the Crown Prince's faction. A scandal big enough to kill people, and not just a few. Where grain arrives, people die. The front has already lost 3 cities. Our soldiers are bleeding. If the grain supplies fail now, we won't just lose a few more cities. The entire western defense line will collapse. Sir, pass down my order. No stopping tomorrow. Pick up the pace. We're going to take a look at this deadly shipment of grain. Why are the grain carts moving so fast? Is the Crown Prince pressing them hard? Or is the western frontier truly running that short? That secret letter from the relay station, with its 8 words, is still burned into my mind. The military supplies are rigged. Where the grain arrives, people die. The letter is gone now, but these 8 words, I've weighed every one of them. The fraud is easy enough to understand. Embezzlement, shorting the rations, mixing in sand. But what does where grain arrives, people die mean? Is there something wrong with the grain itself? Or with the men escorting it? Or does the grain, once it reaches the western frontier, become a weapon that kills instead? I can't figure it out. But I do know this. On this trip west, we can't avoid the grain route. My lord, this way, please. Your room is ready. We'll bring hot water and food right up. That convoy is here too. This is military grain personally overseen by the Crown Prince. If we're delayed one day, neither of us can afford the blame. We must leave first thing tomorrow. The relay station must stock plenty of horse feed and rations. Listen up. Move it. Yes, yes. I understand. The Lord is right. If we delay the mission, we'll both lose our heads. The Crown Prince is overseeing it. But the books haven't even been checked. Yet you put on quite a show. What if we go check those grain sacks now? Will Yi Cheng stop us? You want to check too? I'm just curious. I want to see the military grain overseen by the Crown Prince. See what it's really like. I chem PH, my lord. I chem my lord. This grain convoy is overseen by the Crown Prince. Every prefecture along the route checked the seals. If you want to inspect it, shouldn't you notify the Crown Prince first? The general is right. But I'm not inspecting the sealed cargo. I'm checking the books. The books? That's right. One duty of a pacification office counselor is auditing military supply expenses in the western frontier. I won't touch the grain sacks. I'll just look at the ledgers. Surely you won't deny me even the ledgers, General. My lord, the ledgers are here. Shut up. The ledgers are archived at the transport office. Errand men like us don't have any ledgers. You'll have to see the transport commissioner in the provincial capital. I see. Then how much grain is on these carts? There must be a number. 50 carts, 30 sacks each. That makes 1,500 sacks. It's all listed on the travel documents. If you want to see them, the station master has a copy. Then let me ask one more thing. This 1,500 dan of grain. From Bianjing to the western frontier, how many checkpoints did it pass? And how much did each one skim? Do you know, General? Those questions already scared the snake out of hiding. If you don't stir the grass, how will the snake show its head? Look here. The seals on the carts bear the Bianjing Revenue Office stamp. But the stitching on the sacks beneath the cloth is new. You mean someone tampered with the grain sacks? And more than once. What was loaded in Bianjing? And what's on the carts now? Who knows? What are you going to do? Check the books, of course. First convoy. Departed on the 3rd day of the 9th month, 1,000 dan. Escort commander. Liu Sheng, assistant captain of the left wing of the Capital Guard. Second convoy. 9th month, 7th day, 1,500 dan. Escort commander. Zhang Bao, deputy assistant captain of the left wing of the Capital Guard. Third convoy. 9th month, 11th day, 800 dan. Escort commander. Wait, that's wrong. What's wrong? Look here. The 3 convoys left less than 5 days apart. They took the same route. But the amounts of grain were 1,000 dan for the first, 1,500 dan for the second, and 800 dan for the third. Given the urgency of the supplies, each shipment should have been about the same size. And look at this. The escort commanders of all 3 convoys were subordinates of the same man. They were all from the left wing of the capital garrison. The capital garrison? Isn't that the Crown Prince's own force? Shuan, can you keep accounts? I can handle ordinary ledgers. That's not what I mean. I'll teach you a new accounting method. It's called double entry bookkeeping. Say the revenue office allocates 10,000 dan of grain to the western frontier. That 10,000 dan must appear twice in the books. Once as a grain expense, recorded as a credit, and once as military supply income, recorded as a debit. The numbers on both sides must match. If they don't, someone tampered with the shipment. Good. Go get Yi Cheng. Have him send men to the nearby relay stations. Bring back all records from the past 3 months of every convoy that passed through. The sooner, the better. In the past 3 months, the books say 120,000 dan of grain traveled west along this route. That's what's on paper. But working backward from each convoy's actual load, there could only have been 80,000 dan at most. 40,000 dan of grain is missing. What are you going to do? Seize the convoy, of course. By imperial order, Zhang Yang, counselor of the pacification office, is auditing western frontier supplies. This convoy is to stop here. Open the sacks and inspect the grain. Cut the seals. Oh my God, this grain! This was meant for the soldiers at the front. The soldiers. The soldiers. The soldiers. Spare me, my lord. I was only following orders. Show him the ledgers. General, your convoy is listed as carrying 1,500 dan of grain. But I counted it myself. There isn't even 600 dan. Where did the other 900 go? Where did the other 900 go? Don't rush to plead innocence. I also have the ledgers for the 3 convoys before this one. Each was short by 30 to 50%.
Take a guess.
If I submit all these ledgers to the emperor, what do you think the crown prince will say? Please, my lord, spare me. I have powerful people above me. Yes, the transport commissioner, Lord Kui, and eunuch Li, who serves beside the crown prince. They told me to do it. Oh no! Transport Commissioner Kui has died suddenly. My lord, he died from poisoning. The poison was extremely potent. It acted very fast. He died within 15 minutes of taking it. A deadly dose of arsenic? No, the smell doesn't match. It seems more like a massive dose of raw aconite. It kills on contact. By order of His Highness, the Crown Prince, Jiang Yan, counselor of the pacification office, is suspected of murdering Transport Commissioner Kui. Seize him at once. Take him back to the capital for trial. You dare? Don't be afraid, Miss Wen. This isn't over yet. Stay put, Lord Zhang. Once you're taken back to the capital, His Highness the Crown Prince will sentence you himself. Getting arrested was expected. But Commissioner Kui's death wasn't. Commissioner Kui was still working in the back hall. Half an hour later, he died bleeding from all 7 orifices. Commissioner Kui was still working in the back hall. Half an hour later, he died bleeding from all 7 orifices. It was a gruesome death, clearly meant to frame me. And the eunuch came with the decree and imperial guards too fast, too precisely. Like they'd been waiting outside town. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment setup. It was a death trap laid long ago. They knew I'd investigate the grain route. They knew I'd pin down Commissioner Kui. So they killed him to silence him. Then pinned it on me. What a shame. You missed one thing. I've got more than one ledger. Miss Wen, my general has men surrounding the rear gate of the yamen. At your command, we'll wait for a chance and rush in to save him. At your command, we'll storm the palace and save him. No, those capital troops serve the crown prince. If you charge in, you'll be defying the decree. Then forget saving Zhangyan. Even your general will be punished. So we just watched Lord Zhang get taken to the capital. Will he survive once he's there? Chanhu, do 3 things. Yes, ma'am. First, buy 10 jars of strong liquor from the biggest inn in town. Take them to the Yamen's rear gate. Say they're for the Imperial Guards. Understood. Second, find Yichun in Ningyuan Prefecture. Ask if, in the last 3 days, he's received an urgent dispatch from Bianjing. If so, get that letter, whatever it takes. Third, go to the official road 10 miles outside town. Fire 3 signal arrows. Signal arrows? Why? Prince Jing's men are waiting for the signal. Hurry, fire. Fire! The backyard's on fire. Shuan did it. Go. They got them drunk. They drugged them. Chanhu is fairly reliable. Move! Hurry! Hurry. Is that The Tanguts attacking the city? Let me change clothes. Then we'll leave at once. Lord Zhang, how did you? This isn't the time for that. The Tanguts are here. At least 5,000. We've got fewer than 2,000 troops in town. We can't hold it. Too fast, too precise. This isn't a normal raid. Someone inside is working with them. How much grain is left in town? 3 days' worth. What about reinforcements? We've sent men to the nearest garrison for help. But the fastest they can get here is 5 days. 3 days of food, 5 days for reinforcements. It's a dead end. 3 days of food, 5 days for reinforcements. It's a dead end. Chang Xiaowei, do you trust me? You saved my life. My life is yours. Then listen to me. This city can hold. First, calm the people. Xuan, gather every literate soldier and civilian in town. Use movable type through the night to print 300 notices. Post them all over town. The notice says, reinforcements will arrive within 5 days. There's enough food in town. The well water is clean. Anyone who helps defend the city will be rewarded by merit. Anyone causing trouble will be executed at once. Signed, Zhang Jian, advisor of the Zhuangzhou office. Captain Chun's family. Ningyuan Prefecture will not fall. Have them printed within half an hour. Post them all over town now. Ningyuan Prefecture will not fall. Reinforcements will arrive within 5 days. It actually worked. Take stock of every usable thing in town. Food, arrows, logs, hot filth. Even requisition all the villagers' knives and hoes. East Gate has 2,300 arrows, 40 logs. South Gate has 3 barrels of hot filth, 2 barrels of waste oil, some firewood. West and North Gates have over 100 knives total, 67 hoes. They've been issued to the wall guards. Lord Zheng, you're running city defense like bookkeeping? Lord Zheng, you're running city defense like bookkeeping? Only the books tell you what you have. Only then do you know how long you can last. Reinforcements are here. The Imperial Army is here. Lord Zheng, what are you? A feint only works once. Once they test us tomorrow, they'll launch a full assault. That's when the real fight begins. Captain Chun, pull the troops from East Gate. Move them all to South Gate. Captain Chun, pull the troops from the East Gate. Move them all to the South Gate. We're abandoning the East Gate. There's a swamp outside the East Gate. The cavalry can't get through. They're just putting on a show. The real attack is coming at the South Gate. Send word. Move all East Gate troops south, now. Lord Jiang, how did you figure that out? I didn't figure it out. I guessed. I just went through the 36 stratagems and used everything I could think of. Read the formation, know their intent. Just basic strategy. Day 3. We're almost out of food. The people in the city are starting to panic. The soldiers' morale is visibly falling too. You drink it. If you don't, we'll find a way out. I finally understand. The second half of that secret letter. When the grain arrives, the people die. It wasn't that the food itself was poisoned. Someone was deliberately withholding the army's grain to cut off supplies at the front, then lure the enemy into attacking. They wanted the defenders to turn on each other in desperation until the army collapsed. This was a carefully planned conspiracy to destroy Xijing from within. And now the final link in that conspiracy is wrapped around my neck. Is there any other way? There is. Open the gates. Lord Zhang, what did you say? Open the gates. Opening the gates? That means it isn't surrender. It's a trap. Look, they've surrounded us for 3 days. They've taken heavy losses. Their morale is fading too. What they want most now is for the city to fall, so they can loot it. Then we'll give them the illusion that it has fallen. Open the south gate and let them in. But only some of them. Lure them into the Barbican, then shut the gates and finish them off. But what if we can't hold it? Even that beat's sitting here waiting to die. Chang Xiaowei, do you trust me? I do. Open the gates. Open them. The city has fallen. Charge. Fire. Light the torches. Shut the gates. This is war. We held it. We held it. We held it. We held it. Lord Zhang, you saved the lives of 20,000 people. Lord Zhang, you saved the lives of 20,000 people. You were the ones who held the city. Not me. Lord Zhang, this is bad. Someone is spreading rumors in the city. They're saying you colluded with the Tanguts. and deliberately let the enemy in to start a rebellion in the chaos. Bullshit. Who wrote that? I'll cut him down myself. It's happening again. We held the city, but we can't win the people's hearts. Jiang Yan, I'll stand with you. Don't be afraid. Whoever held this city, the people know. They know who held this city. The people know. The rumors will collapse on their own. Lord Jiang defended the city and saved my whole family's lives. Who says he betrayed us? I wouldn't believe it for a second. Neither would I. That battle at Guancheng, I saw it with my own eyes. Lord Jiang didn't betray us. He killed the enemy. Lord Jiang, an imperial edict has arrived. His Majesty summons you back to the capital. I await His Majesty's questions. He summons you back to the capital, without granting you a reward. He only says you'll answer questions. Those 4 words feel like a chill. A chill is exactly right. A chill is exactly right. You earned tremendous merit defending the city, yet the court gives neither reward nor punishment. They only summon me back for questioning. That means His Majesty has started weighing me. Weighing a young official who holds the army's loyalty on the frontier, the scholars' support, and the people's hearts, and just exposed a massive case of treason. Is he loyal or a threat? Xuan, remember this when we return to the capital. The greater the merit, the more quietly you must carry it. Whoever pushes hardest to get me rewarded is trying to put me in the line of fire, including Prince Jing. Especially Prince Jing. Assistant Censor Jiang in the battle in the western frontier, you did the prince and the court a great service. You're too kind, Your Highness. Captain Chun and 2,000 soldiers paid for the city's defense with their lives. Investigating the grain was the pacification office's duty. I only did some writing and bookkeeping. I hardly deserve the word great merit. I understand that look in His Highness's eyes. He doesn't want me to earn merit. He wants me to earn it for him. Those are worlds apart. Your Highness, I've sealed the evidence in the military grain case and submitted it to the Dali Temple. As for the trail behind the trap at Xijing, I don't think your people should investigate it. Why not? Because the person at the end of that trail outranks even the crown prince. If Your Highness gets involved now, you'll just be handing someone a knife. Your Majesty, I accuse Assistant Pacification Commissioner Jiang Zhan of 3 crimes. Your Majesty, I accuse Assistant Pacification Commissioner Jiang Zhan of 3 crimes. First, Jiang Yan, a civil official, illegally redeployed frontier troops and secretly opened the city gates to lure in the enemy. War is the greatest matter of the state. How can a mere frontier official act on his own? This was an abuse of power and a violation of protocol. Second, Jiang printed notices in the western frontier and spread them throughout the army. Everyone bore his name before the commanders. The people on the frontier know only Jiang Yan and not the imperial court. This was an attempt to win their hearts. Third, Jiang Yan used the crisis to issue commands, raising suspicion that the soldiers and frontier generals were building private armies. What a clever move, turning our strength against us. They knew they couldn't suppress my merit, so they translated the merit itself into crimes. The greater the merit, the heavier the charges. They want His Majesty to grow suspicious on his own. They don't have to act themselves. All three charges are more poisonous than treason. Treason is a lie. One strike exposes it. But abuse of power, winning the people's hearts, and binding the frontier together, those charges are all true. They've only changed the way they look. My life-saving deeds have become a treasonous plot. These three charges are more poisonous than treason. A defense became a rebellion. Jiang Yan. The charges raised by Imperial Censor Wu. Do you have anything to say? Your Majesty. All three charges raised by Censor Wu are true. I did redeploy the frontier troops without authorization. Because if I hadn't, the city would have fallen and everyone would have died. 20,000 people would have been left without a proper burial. I accept this charge of exceeding my authority. I did print the notices and sign my name. Because in the midst of the chaos, the people needed someone they could trust, a name willing to take responsibility. I put my name first, so the people would know that if the city fell, Jiang Yan would be the first one they should kill. I admit to the charge of winning hearts. I did befriend Captain Chen. Because we defended a lone city together. We saw each other's blood. I admit to the charge of befriending border generals. I also ask Your Majesty to remove me from my post as advisor to the Pacification Commission. Reclaim all military records and seals under my control on the western frontier. I'll hand them over in full today. I'm only a Hanley Academy editor. Defending the land and protecting the people was my temporary duty. It was never within my authority. Now that I've returned to the capital, it's time to return that authority. Didn't you say I held troops to win popular support and courted border generals? Fine, I'll hand it all over. Military power, records, border generals' goodwill. I'll keep none of it. I'll return it all to Your Majesty. You want His Majesty to suspect me of clinging to power? Then I'll give it all up cleanly. Right before the entire court. A man who treats immense power like a hot potato and throws it away, how could he rebel? The secret to great merit without threatening the throne isn't hiding one's achievements. It's stepping away once the job is done. Rise. Defending the city and protecting the people were great deeds. Your overreach is understandable. As for winning hearts and befriending generals, a minister willing to hand over military power and records, of his own accord, if that counts as holding troops for himself, then throughout the court, who would dare defend a city for me? I've cleared this hurdle. But His Majesty protected me today, because I knew my place. An emperor's trust always has an expiration date. Today I gave up power, so he's at ease. But anything I do someday, as long as I cross that line, today's warmth will turn to murder at once. Serving a ruler is like living with a tiger. And this tiger is sick. A sick tiger fears most having someone too capable and too beloved nearby. If you hadn't asked to surrender power today, I would have stepped forward to protect you. If you hadn't asked to surrender power today, I would have stepped forward to protect you. I knew Your Highness would protect me. That's why I couldn't let you. If your highness had spoken up for me today, the whole court would have seen it. Jiang Yan belongs to Prince Jing. And my life wouldn't belong to a loyal man who defended the border for his majesty. I'd be your highness's pawn in the fight for the throne. What his majesty fears most is exactly that. You calculated everything. I didn't calculate everything. I was forced into it. In this city of Bianjing, one wrong move means a bottomless abyss. But what your highness said just now was praise and warning alike. A minister who can read even troop morale perfectly. What ruler could truly sleep easy? I know. From this day on, in Zhao Heng's eyes, besides reliance, there'll likely be something else no one can see. Young master, we've waited so long for you. Xi Jing must have been hard on you. Uncle Fu, I'm fine, aren't? The western regions are dangerous. You kept Shuan safe and earned great merit defending the city. I thank you. You're too kind, headmaster. Shuan was more helpful in the western regions than I was. Checking accounts, carrying messages, steadying the people, all of it was her doing. That's true. After this trip, she's no longer the girl who only eavesdropped outside the Alliance office. She spotted the flaw in the grain case first. During the siege, she worked inside and out to free me from prison. She's grown much faster than I expected. So it was him. Luring enemies across the border, cutting off supplies, framing the heir. The man behind it all wasn't the crown prince, nor Prince Jing. It was the old prince everyone thought had long since left power to enjoy his retirement. Old Prince Zhaosong, Emperor Jingo's imperial uncle, a chief regent under the late emperor. No one at court outranks him by seniority. He once commanded all armies in the realm. Though he gave up power years ago, his old men are spread throughout the army, especially on the western frontier. He set up the grain merchants behind the military grain scandal. The embezzled military pay half went into the crown prince faction's pockets. They thought they were making money, but he was using them as pawns. The other half funded the old forces he planted on the western frontier. He lured the Tanguts across the border by using his old subordinates to collude with the enemy and deliberately leaving gaps in the defenses. He doesn't want a few cities. He wants chaos on the frontier. Chaos enough to force His Majesty to name an heir while ill. Chaos enough for the Crown Prince and Prince Jing to destroy each other. Chaos enough that no one at court is left to use, so they can only rely on this elder of 3 reigns to save the day. The Crown Prince is his pawn. Prince Jing is the thorn he wants removed. My investigation of grain and defense of the city on the western frontier ruined his whole plan. No wonder the road back to the capital wasn't peaceful. No wonder the accusation of colluding with the enemy came so fast. Before I could submit the evidence, he wanted to condemn me first. No, old Prince Chen is an elder of 3 reigns, a revered royal elder with deep roots in the military. I'm just an editor who recently gave up power, with only a few pieced together secret letters and some testimony from his remaining followers. I can't accuse him of treason. His Majesty believed me when I defended the city, but he may not believe me against his imperial uncle. If I fail to accuse him, the backlash will make me guilty of framing a royal kinsman and driving a wedge in the imperial family. I moved this piece too early, and I'll lose the whole game. I must wait for him to reveal a bigger flaw himself. Wait for a moment, His Majesty can't help but believe. Until then, I need to hide myself deeper. Did you hear? Did you hear?
His Majesty is gravely ill.
More than gravely ill. I have a relative serving in the imperial pharmacy. He says even the imperial physicians are helpless. Your Highness, the Crown Prince faction has been reaching out everywhere. At tomorrow's court session, they'll submit a joint memorial to name the heir early. I know. Your Highness, shouldn't we also? No moves. Visit the palace daily and tend to His Majesty. Do nothing else. That was Jiang Yan's advice. Stay still to counter their moves. Whoever jumps first now becomes the target. Yes, Your Highness. Your Majesty. This old servant has stayed out of court affairs for years. But lately I've heard Shijing remains unsettled. The heir has not been named, and Your Majesty's health has worsened. The foundation of the state is this shaken. Though old and frail, I cannot stand by and do nothing. I beg Your Majesty to settle this great matter soon, for the peace of the realm. For every day the heir remains unnamed, the court remains unsettled, and the people remain uneasy. Old Prince Qin is right. The state comes first. We beg Your Majesty to name the heir soon. The realm comes first. It can't be delayed any longer. Name the heir soon. Name the heir soon. Name the heir soon. Name the heir. Name the heir. Name the heir soon. Name the heir. Name the heir soon. Name the heir soon. Name the heir. Name the heir. Name the heir soon. Here it comes. The dagger is finally out. He wants to force His Majesty to name an heir while ill. One he can control, so he can rightfully serve as regent and control the court. It's a perfectly righteous move, without a single flaw. Whoever opposes securing the state early must have sinister motives. Uncle, I know you care for the state. I understand. Let me think on it. Midnight. Alone at the ruined temple. What Prince Jing wants to tell me. Is it a killing blow against old Prince Qin? Or was this never Prince Jing's invitation? Enemy or ally, trap or death? I'll only know once I go. This game has reached the time to reveal our cards. All three sides are watching me. One group has heavy, evenly spaced footsteps. Military men. Another group moves loosely, in pairs, the Crown Prince's palace guards. And one more group, the gate Prince Jing's residence favors. Light. Close along the walls. Bianjing is lively tonight. You're here. Your Highness. You made me stay single, while staying single yourself. That's only fair. I don't have time to beat around the bush. At midnight tonight, old Prince Qin's men will enter the imperial city. Their target is your majesty? How do you know? Someone in the palace sent this. Old Prince Qin's memorial today was testing the whole court's reaction. He saw your majesty still protecting me and knew he couldn't force a coup, so he changed course. Emperor Zheng's death was a move he'd planned long ago. The crown prince is just his pawn. Regency is the real power he wants. Once your majesty dies, he'll hold the last edict in one hand and his old troops in the other. Who would dare object? This letter is real. I verified the source. 90% certain. Your Highness, which palace guard is on duty now? Your Highness, which imperial guard is on duty in the city? The Jade Dragon Guard is on tonight. General Chen Zhao commands them, right? Yes, he's His Majesty's confidant. Old Prince Qin can't buy him. You checked long ago. Your Highness. We need to hurry. Lord Zhang, come in. This is an old palace servant who managed the archives, who in Academy was recruiting 3 years ago. His grandson got in. He's never forgotten that favor. This is a token I kept from serving the late emperor. It's long expired. But General Chen Zhao is on duty tonight. He recognizes the late emperor's things. But General Chen Zhao is on duty tonight. He recognizes the late emperor's things. Thank you, my lord.
His Majesty.
I'll save His Majesty. General Chen, Imperial Physician Zhang He is on duty tonight, right? Before I entered the palace, Jiang Yi met with men from old Prince Qin's estate at a tea house. Here are the meeting records. They bear their fingerprints. I stake my life and family on it. He already understands. He doesn't need more proof. He needs someone to step forward and speak. Come with me. Stop. Aconite poison. It kills within an hour after it's taken. 1 moment later, and it'd be too late. Spare me, my lord. Spare me, my lord. Old Prince Qin forced me. He has my family. Arrest him and take him to the court of judicial review. Lord Jiang, please go check on His Majesty. I'm not dead. I'm still here. Why do you all look like that? Your Majesty, General Chen, and Scholar Jiang. I'm not blind. Get up and speak. What do you want to tell me? Be clear. Your Majesty, this is what I found while investigating the military grain case in Western Jin. All the evidence I uncovered. Transport Commissioner Kui Wanren was silenced because he knew the source of this chain of accounts wasn't the Crown Prince's faction. It was someone above the Crown Prince. I didn't submit it right after returning to the capital because I knew proof alone wasn't enough. The man behind this is a veteran of 3 reigns, an elder of the imperial clan. Your Majesty might not trust one editor's word. I had to wait until he showed his claws before Your Majesty. He ordered the imperial physician to poison you tonight. General Chun has already seized him. Physician Zhang's testimony will be at the Court of Judicial Review before court tomorrow. It's him. It's him. Your Majesty's health comes first. Leave this to the Court of Judicial Review. Your Majesty, you mustn't. I want to hear him explain it himself. This subject greets Your Majesty. Your Majesty summoned me tonight because Zhang He's testimony. Would you like to see it? Old Prince Qin, the accounts of your old western border troops trading with the enemy were kept as ordinary ledgers. It took me 3 days to sort them out. But the accounts you planted in the transport office were very clever, kept by the old system. They showed no flaws. I used a new accounting method called double entry bookkeeping. I cross-checked debits and credits. 120,000 bushels of grain. The books show only 80,000 reached the western border. The missing 40,000 bushels were hidden in 37 different transfer points, spread out. Each one looks proper on its own. But with double entry bookkeeping, I put every point into one ledger, and the debits and credits don't match. Old Prince Qin. The one thing you failed to count on was that no one in Great Jing knew this method. Zhang, you're a clever man. But do you know, everything I've done wasn't for that throne. The Crown Prince is weak. Prince Jing is worthy, but too young. He has no one around him to balance the factions. Your Majesty's health worsens by the day. Once you pass, with Crown Prince Zhao Zhuan's skill, within 3 years, the court will be in chaos. The border will surely erupt. Western Xie, Hitan, Tenga. Which one isn't watching like a hawk? My regency isn't usurpation. It's saving the realm. So you wanted to kill me. I never. You had Zhang He put aconite in my medicine. And that's saving the realm? Power makes people believe. Every step serves some greater cause. Until at last, when that veil is torn away, what lies beneath is only an ordinary, greedy, selfish human heart. No one says it's for power itself. They all say it's for the people, for their ancestors and the realm. But the people were never the piece they considered on the board. Take him away. Hand him to the imperial clan court. You're too sharp, young man. One day you'll break. Leave that brocade pouch. Your Majesty. All evidence from the Western Jin military grain case is in this pouch. A copy of old Prince Chin's enemy trading accounts is inside too. I've made 2 copies of the originals. The other is sealed at Huwen Academy. Many heirs there saw it firsthand. It can't be destroyed. Those words are one last safeguard for His Majesty. His Majesty trusts me now, but an emperor's heart can change in 3 days. I hid 1 copy outside, to tell him, this won't be quietly erased by politics. It's not a threat. It's to put His Majesty at ease. I won't trade this for any favor. I just don't want it to vanish from the world. You little brat. I know. What you said about yielding power on your first day back was to show me your loyalty. But hiding proof outside means you're guarding against me. But hiding proof outside means you're guarding against me. Your Majesty, I'm not guarding against you. I'm guarding against the chance that one day your Majesty is gone, and no one remembers this. Imperial Decree. Zhao Xiao harbors evil intent, colluding with the enemy and plotting treason. Hand him to the Imperial Clan Court for strict investigation at once. Purge all former troops under his command. Replace the commander of the left wing of the capital garrison at once. By imperial order. Hanlin Editor Zhang Yan. For merit in investigating military grain, for merit in defending Ningyuan Prefecture, and for protecting the emperor, is granted the title of Secretariat Drafter, while retaining his post as advisor to the Zhuangfu office. His current rank remains unchanged, with a 6th rank salary increase. By imperial order. For defending the city, for solving the case. And all I got was a court title and a 6th rank salary. For defending the city, for solving the case. All I got was a secretariat drafter post and a 6th rank salary. Isn't that too small a reward? A secretariat drafter isn't a prestigious post, but it drafts imperial edicts and advises on state affairs. His Majesty is quietly giving me real power, under an unremarkable title, so no one can tell its true weight.
His Majesty is still His Majesty.
In his heart, even if I'm a useful piece, I'm still a threat he must keep down. This decree doesn't reward me much, but it's subtle enough. Too much, and I grow too powerful. Too little, and the court would lose heart.
He struck just the right balance.
How is it? It's all settled. For now. The old prince's case still needs looking into, right? The old prince's case still needs looking into, right? The crown prince's side hasn't been fully cleared out either. Prince Jing. Xu Wan. You stood guard outside the palace last night. Were you cold? That's all you ask? That's all I ask.
Cold.
Can you stop always putting yourself in the most dangerous spot? I can't promise that, but I can promise I'll come back every time. Aren't you worried? Worried about what? That His Majesty will settle scores later. In the old prince's case, you did the most.
His Majesty may still resent it.
Someone brought the matter into the open for him, even if they did the right thing. So these past 7 days, I've been waiting. Waiting for what? Lord Zhang, His Majesty summons you to the palace. This. Sit. How old are you this year? Your Majesty, I am 24 by nominal age. When I was your age, I didn't yet know the throne was such a crushing weight, heavier than any stone. It weighs on you for life. You can't cast it off until death. I await your Majesty's command. After I die, who should inherit the realm? What do you think? Here it is. This is why I was summoned today. After I die, who should inherit the realm? What do you think? Here it is. This is why I was summoned today. Not a reward. Not a consultation. He's asking me to choose a side. This question is a trap and a test. If I say Prince Jing, I'm taking a side. His Majesty will distrust me from then on. If I say the Crown Prince, that's absurd. His Majesty knows the truth. If I refuse to discuss the heir, I'm being slippery.
His Majesty hates that type most.
But he asks from his sickbed. He's a dying man, trying to see this matter clearly at last. He doesn't want the court's empty pleasantries. He wants the truth. I don't know, after your Majesty is gone, who is fit to rule this realm? I only know what kind of children I've seen in King County's village schools. Children from poor families. They have no family legacy of learning. Their fathers never learned to read. But they're smart. They're eager to learn. Give them a book, and they can memorize it cover to cover. I've seen what kind of merchants live in the prefectural city. Shopkeeper Shen sells books. A copy of the Analects costs 50 coins. He says words belong to everyone. The poor deserve to read too. I've seen what kind of soldiers serve in the western frontier. As a captain, I held the city for 3 days without food, without reinforcements. We held because we had to. Not for any prince, but for the 20,000 people behind us. Your Majesty asks who can sit on that throne. I can't say. But I believe the one who can hold that throne must have seen these people and remembered them. The one who can hold that throne must have seen these people and remembered them. You mean? I mean nothing. I am an editor at the Hanlin Academy. Matters of war, or the struggle between CSU and Wei, are not for me to discuss. What I said today is what I couldn't let go of during those days on the western frontier. You brat. You said nothing at all, yet I can't fault a word of it. Your Majesty, I can only say this much. The rest is for your Majesty to decide. What did my imperial brother say to you? We caught up. If one day, Your Highness, there's something I must say. Speak. I hope your Highness remembers. I am not your man. I hope your Highness remembers. I am not your man. I investigated military rations for His Majesty, defended a lone city for His Majesty, and captured rebels for His Majesty. I did all that because it was the right thing to do, not because of your Highness. I am not a pawn of Prince Jing's manor, nor anyone else's pawn. I am an editor at the Hanlin Academy, a servant of great Jing. If one day, your Highness does something I believe is wrong, I'll say so. If one day, your Highness takes a path I believe is wrong, I'll remonstrate. Your Highness may not want a servant like me. But if you do, this is the only kind I can be. Good. The Crown Prince's faction has moved. Tomorrow they'll submit a petition urging enthronement. They'll force His Majesty to name an heir while ill. The Crown Prince's faction has moved. Tomorrow they'll submit a petition urging enthronement. They'll force His Majesty to name an heir while ill. 37 officials signed it. The news came from students at Hurin Academy. If they submit the petition, even if His Majesty is lucid, he'll be thrown off balance. They signed in fear, not because they truly support the Crown Prince. 11. If they learn the situation is no longer on the Crown Prince's side, they'll quietly withdraw their names tomorrow morning. How do we let them know? Will your father host students at the academy tonight? I entered the palace today.
His Majesty is in robust health.
He's already drafting an edict. Big changes are coming soon. His Majesty is still drafting an edict? Then submitting that petition is like walking into a trap. But the Crown Prince's side. What's more important, your life or the Crown Prince? Withdraw your name. Your Highness, of the 37 names, 14 were withdrawn. I'll dictate. You write. Your Majesty, this is an edict of utmost importance. Precisely because it's important, I'm having you write it. These hands wrote symbols for deadly poison, movable type books, notices to calm the people, and orders to defend the city. They've never written a single lie. This is His Majesty's final hot potato for me. Once I write this edict to my name, we'll be tied to Prince Jing forever. From now on, all under heaven will know whose man I am. But he is the emperor. Yet, at this moment, he is only a dying man, placing his last trust in someone he can trust. Good.
His Majesty has passed away.
Long live His Majesty. Long live the Emperor. Imperial Secretary. For defending the city, for solving the case. How did it just become keeping the old Secretariat drafter post unchanged? Did the new Emperor forget? You're leaving? You're leaving? Not leaving. Returning to my place. I want you to be Chief Minister. Your Majesty, I have a question.
Ask.
Does Your Majesty want Jiang Jian as Chief Minister or Jiang Yan editor at the Hanlin Academy? If you want a Chief Minister, then Jiang Yan will be Your Majesty's instrument from now on. Every word he says will bear Your Majesty's shadow. People across the realm will say, Mr. Deadly Poison, movable type printing, Hyun Academy, defending the western frontier. Everything he did before will take on a different meaning. But if you want a Hanlin editor, then Jiang Yan may help Your Majesty today, meet with Your Majesty tomorrow, and perhaps oppose Your Majesty the day after. He stands in court, not as Your Majesty's blade, nor as Your Majesty's shield.
He is
a public servant of the realm. He understood. Keep your Hanlin Academy editing post. And keep your title as a Secretariat drafter. You will oversee the canon project at Hubin Academy. If I ever do something foolish, remonstrate with me. Don't spare my dignity. I obey, Your Majesty. A messenger came to the estate today. From King County. Master, we all passed the county exam. Even Old Black's third boy passed. He said the text he recited most was that poisonous Analects book you taught us. Master, is Bianjing nice? The new scholar sent by the county said he wants to open a bookshop here. We all know it's yours. But he doesn't. Master, on our schoolhouse wall, someone made a rubbing of your writing and put it up. Now twice as many kids come to the school as when you were here. You used to say, words belong to everyone. Yes, we all remember. Master, when will you come back to see us? Xuan, I want to write them back. All right. Juicy and all your classmates. Master is doing fine. Bianjing is huge, but Master misses King County. That locust tree you planted in the yard before leaving, I wonder if it's still there? If it is, when spring comes, please water it for me. Words belong to everyone. You all remember that. That makes Master very happy. Master doesn't know when he can return, but Master promises you this. Once Master has finished putting everything in order, he'll definitely come back and teach you a lesson. We'll use punctuation to discuss Mencius. The people come first, the state second, and the ruler last. The project is well underway. You came, Chief Zhang. Dean, we need to print a batch of working copies first. How do we print them? How do we print them? Movable type. You really are something. Going round and round, you always come back to movable type. When it comes to education, everything leads back to it. There's a typo here. This is what I should be doing. Not guarding a city, not fighting spells, not maneuvering through court politics. This is it? Gathering scattered words back together, printing them into books, and sending them out, so more people can read. What's wrong? Nothing. It just feels a little unreal. What feels unreal? What feels unreal? 3 years ago, in a rundown school in King County, I wrote punctuation marks on the blackboard. Those kids stared at me like I was a monster. Back then, I thought, if one day, those marks could be printed in books, so reading would be easier for more people, that would be enough. Now they're part of the official system, used throughout the realm. It's enough. It was enough long ago. That doesn't mean I have no regrets, or that the world is peaceful now. It means the work that began in that little school in King County has reached its end here. Zhang Yan. Have you ever thought about how you want to live from now on? Edit the classics, see the emperor, and occasionally return to King County to teach the children. That's all? That's all. And marry someone to share it all with me. You? Can't you be serious for once? I am serious. You... Xuan. I'm asking you. You are Ding Wenlan's daughter. You have autumn in your heart and the spirit of bamboo. You face life and death with me, and see me at my worst. Do you think I'm worthy of you? I'll ask my father. Good, go ask him. You should have done that sooner. Master, madam. The young masters finally found a match. Add another wedding gift. Add another wedding gift. Take it from the imperial treasury. Don't send it through the Ministry of Rights. Your Majesty, whose name should go on the gift. No name, just write, a gift belonging to all under heaven. As it should be. Master. The locust tree bloomed again this year. We watered it for you. Master got married. We're all very happy. Old Black's third boy said, "You married the lady teacher from the academy." He saw her. He says she's amazing. She's better at math than you, Master. That boy has a sharp eye. I can't argue with that. She really is better than me, Master. The children in the county all say they want to take the civil service exams. Once they pass, they'll go to Bianjing. To see you. That lesson on Mencius you promised. We're still waiting for it. At 24, from a fool in King County. To an editor at the Hanlin Academy, then an advisor on the Western Frontier. Then a compiler at Hubin Academy, working under the dean. Looking back, none of it went according to plan. A blessing in disguise. Quick thinking under pressure. Movable type printing was a happy accident. I guarded the city because I had no choice. I broke the deadlock on a gamble. Yet looking back, every step seems to have been the right one. Maybe it's because I never chose a path. I simply did each thing I truly believed needed doing. Words belong to everyone. Shopkeeper Shen said that. And I believed it too. Words belong to everyone. They belong to no one. And to everyone. Xuan, why did you come listen outside the school back then? Because you taught well. That's it? That's it. Later. Later, it wasn't just your teaching. Hey, aren't those the kids who used to squat every day, outside the academy wall to listen to class? What are they doing here too? Careful, don't break the branch. Master, is this the tree you planted? We brought it for you. Study without thought, and you are lost. Think without study, and you're in danger. Master, why is this problem written like a ledger? Master,